Students, today with the grammar topic, that is narration. We have discussed the basic rules of narration. We have discussed how to change simple assertive sentences. Today we're going to discuss something very, very important, your interrogative sentences, that is questions. So when you have a reported speech here in the form of a question, what are the things you need to remember when you change it into its indirect form? So some things are always going to be the same basic rules that we have to remember. What is the basic rule? What are the basic things that we have to remember about narration? One is, yes, the removing of the inverted commas. Second is changing of any kind of sentence in a statement, right? So we have to remove the commas, inverted commas, and we have to, yes, the use of that. But what we are going to discuss today is very, very different. We remember the change of the pronouns, the change of the time, right, of the position. Yes, we remember the change of the tense, right? So it is going to change into the corresponding past tense. Simple present will change into simple past. Simple past will change into past perfect. Present continuous, perfect continuous. So all these you have to remember, okay? Right? So the change of the tense is something very, very important. So in a way, when we look at a sentence which has to be changed from its direct form to its indirect form, we start from the reported verb to the reported speech. Everything we have to know. What are the things that I have to change? Okay. So let's just have a look here at your grammar book. I hope you all opened your grammar book, and let me share the page with you all. So this is just a quick revision here of what we have discussed earlier. What do we have to remember? Let's just revise what we have done. We use, like, of course, this is about direct speech. You remember about direct speech? Yes. And what we are going to do, we are going to do indirect speech. So we are going to remember these things. We do not use quotation marks or inverted commas. Do you remember? Yeah. We remove the comma which is separating the reporting verb and the speaker's word or the speech there. So there's a comma there between the inverted commas and yes, the reporting verb. We may use conjunctions that commonly we remember. Now we're going to use when we are going to use if, whether, what, why to introduce the indirect statement. So yeah, so when we remove the inverted commas, we have to change certain things, okay? And of course, we change the nouns. That is very, very important. We also change the verb here, the sentence, the tense of the sentence. It changes to the corresponding past tense, isn't it? And what we have to remember, we are going to change all kinds of sentences into statements. So we have done a simple assertive, we have done assertive sentences. Today we're going to do questions, right? What are we going to do when we talk about questions here? Yes. So this is here. Let me just kind of revise here. What are the things that you need to remember? Like, of course, here, Mary said, "This is a good painting." How is it going to change? If we remember all the things that need to be changed, what are the things that you need to remember? Mary said, "This is a good painting." Mary said that was a good painting. Look at the change in the tense. Look at the removal of the inverted commas. Look at the removal of the comma before the direct speech. Okay. Present continuous. Harsh said, "I am waiting for Deepti." Right? Harsh said that he was waiting for So there is a change in the tense, right? The change in the pronoun, change in, like, of course, when we remove that, what has come instead? That has come. Present perfect. We have done our work. Present perfect will become past perfect. Maya said that they had done their work. Can you see the screen? Please tell me, is the screen visible? Can I get a yes or no from you all? Yes? Is it visible? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So fine. And yes, so let me see all of them. Yeah, so it's visible. Good enough. Right. Okay, now let us look at all these things here, right? What is our basic purpose when we change the tenses? Let us remember here that we have to change here, the tense changes into the corresponding past. So if it is already in the past, will there be any change, right? Of course, it is already in the past, perfect, okay? Right? So, and of course here, if it is a statement, I am 15 years old, said Ginny, right? That she is 15 years old because it is true, right? And the teacher tells us a statement, teacher tells us a universal truth, no change. The teacher said that water becomes ice on freezing. So you have to remember. So of course here, let us also look at the modals. Do you remember what are the modals? What are the modals? What are the modals? Yes? May, might, can, could, will, should, shall, right? All these things. Yeah, must. Absolutely correct. Now, what are the changes that we need to remember? I can give you a gift. Look at it. Can, could, because the change in the tense. It may rain today. It might rain. Today will become that day. So there's a change in time also. Today will become that day. Tomorrow will become the following day. Yesterday will become the previous day. Now will become then or that moment. Okay. So these are the things that we need to remember. Okay. Right. So, and of course, there are some models that cannot be changed. Right. Of course. Yeah. So here, like, we shall reach early, we should reach early. Okay, all these I think so we have discussed, and we need to remember all these things when we are going to. These are things, these rules are there. And the special rule which we need to remember when we do a particular kind of sentence, yeah, ought to, right? So no change over there. There will be no change. So must, there, might. So we have completed these blanks. I think so. We have done these. Yes or no? Right. So these we have done because we had started off with the right, the simple statements. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to do questions. Right. So we are going to go through the rules here, which is one of the most important things that we need to remember. Now, when I ask questions, right? So yeah, like, of course, let us look at this here. We'll just discuss these and I'll discuss the rules also simultaneously. The school prefect said, "Why aren't you in class?" Right? Now, what kind of a sentence is this? Please, can you tell me what kind of a sentence is this? What kind of a sentence is this? No, must will remain must only. Yeah, must will be must only. Okay, right. So what kind of a sentence is this? It is an interrogative sentence. It's asking a question. Okay. Now, when we look at it, what are the things that we need to remember? Okay. Please note down for your interrogative sentences. How are we going to introduce the direct speech? Or of course here, how are we going to introduce the reported speech? As I said, we're going to remove the inverted comma. In your assertive sentences, what is used? That is used. In interrogative sentences, that is not used. Please remember this. That is not used. Okay, right? Then what is used? So if you have your questions here, right? So you have why, what, where, who. So they will remain as such, right? What are we going to write use here? We will ask, inquired, if, whether, right? Demanded, wanted to know. You can all use this. Now, if I have to change this, if I have to change this, can we do this one by one? Can we do these questions? The school prefect said, why aren't you in class? It's a question. He's asking something. The school prefect wanted to know, right? Or even you can I say the school prefect asked. Okay, why will remain why aren't you? Right, of course. So we will say we were not in class. Removal of the question mark. Students, please remember here when we are changing an interrogative sentence, our purpose here when we do narration is that we change these kinds of sentences into assertive or statement sentences, right? So when you write sentences like that, when you write assertive sentences, is there any kind of a question mark at the end? No. So we're going to remove that. So when we rewrite it in the indirect form, please remember there should be no question mark. We are not using that. These are two things you need to remember. Okay. Are we introduce the, you can say direct speech, or are we introducing the reported speech? We'll use asked, why, right? Okay. And of course, like when we have questions like with a yes or no answer, like, can you help me with this one? Right? If we could, whether, right? The use of if or whether. Okay. Right. Now let's see, look at this here. We never ever use that. We can use if or when. When we have yes or no questions. I just told you. My aunt said, how do you feel? Right? Okay. So here with how. It is not your why, where, what, when, right? Okay. So with your can, could, right? How. On this, what are we going to use? We're going to use if or whether, do, did, all these questions, right? Your question words that you use. So my aunt said, how do you feel? What am I going to do? It's a question here. Said will become asked. Please control yourself from using that. Okay. Then we will change all these things. Asked, you will become me, right? How do you feel, right? How I feel will become felt. So there is the change here. Next is of course for your WH questions, right? Simple like that, right? Okay, here. So Neha said to Firoz, why is late? Simple questions here, your WH questions here, right? And of course, where it is, where this is given, right? Neha said to Firoz, Neha asked Firoz why he was late or why was he late. Fine. Rest remain the same. Your change in pronouns, your change in the place, your change in the position, all that things you need to remember. Okay. Right. And you know, when we do question tags, remember we will split it into two. She said, this is smart, isn't it? So I have two parts which I have to do. So she is said, this is smart. Where is the question, isn't it? Okay. So here I can use that. She said that, of course, that was smart. And I do this separately. Isn't it? Asked, if I agreed. Right? Okay, fine. Now, yes, now let's come to the questions here. Let us do this, and as we practice, things will be much, much easier. Have you found the page? Please open to page 162 of your book. We are doing questions. We are doing interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences are question sentences. Okay. Now look at the first sentence. Gunjan said, where are the basketball matches going to be held? Where? Right? Fine. Now take a minute and give me the answer. What do you think is the answer? And I'll discuss the answer with you all. Yes, what is your answer? Yeah, Gunjan said. Two parts, remember, interrogative sentence. What will not come? That will not come. Where? Where? Yeah. Asked. Absolutely correct. Asked. Yes. Simple as that. Rest. Where will remain where. And the rest you can know. Right? Okay. Yes. It is asked. It is not like, yeah, right? Okay. Yeah. It is asked when we asked. So Gunjan asked where, yeah, were the basketball matches going to be held, right? Okay. So right, not much of a change over here. Yeah, this is next. Come to the next one. Do you live here? Said Lata to Meera. Yes. Said Lata to Meera. Lata asked Meera if or whether, right, she lived, here will become there. Yes, did you get it correct? So if she lived there, what are the things you have to control yourself from not doing? One is writing that. And once I have changed the sentence, please do not put the question mark there. And when we have statements, when we have assertive sentences, we do not put a question mark. So do not make that mistake. And I'm warning you, you will not get marks then. Don't say, ma'am, my answer was correct, but beta, you forgot to do the basic thing. Why did you write that? Why did you put a question mark? Two things wrong. So these are the things you need to remember. May I use your pen? Kajal said. Come on, Hari. Come on, give me the answers. Kajal said. Kajal asked if she might use my pen. Correct? Done. Let me see how many got the answers correct. Yeah. Can I get a yes or no? Can I get a yes or no? Yeah. Are you writing? Okay. Am I getting any response here? Yes? Are we all writing the answers in the book? Can I see your books? Right. Okay, very nice. Very good. When will you return my books? Namita said to Vijay. Yes? Very easy, very easy. If you remember the things that you have to do, right? If you do it step by step, and if you remember these are the things I have to change, these are things I should not change. Okay, when? Okay, right? I have to remove this question mark. I do not write that over there. So you will get the correct answer. Yes, Namita said to Vijay, when will you return my books? It's a question. So Namita asked Vijay, when? Yes, when would he return her books? So let's just change it as it is. Why you want to change the position, right? When would he or when he would return her books, right? Yeah. Okay, when would he return her books? Fine. The driver said, can I leave now? Can. Okay. Yes. So the driver asked if he could leave. Now will become what? Now will become then. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Did you get that this correct? Right. Next one, a little tricky one. Let's see. There is a little what? Yeah, can't hear me. I think I'm very loud and clear. I'm very, very loud and clear. So please listen carefully to me. Yeah. Now, Pankaj said, where did you find this tie? Pankaj said, where did you find this tie? Come on, hurry up. Come on, give me like the answer, right? So, yeah, asked, where did you please look at the pronoun over there. Yes, of course. So Pankaj said, or Pankaj asked, where he found a tie. Yes, right? Can I use are you over here? Where did you find this tie? Okay, so yeah, fine, correct. Where did he find that tie? Absolutely. The teacher said, why have you been absent for so many days? The teacher asked, why? Yes. Why he had been or is absent for so many days. Yeah. My host said, are you comfortable? Let us say that the host is talking to you. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Why I had been absent. Where did I find this? Found this time, right? My host said, are you comfortable? So my host asked me, inquired of me if whether I were comfortable. Yes. Right. Absolutely correct. Whether I was comfortable. Next is, Varun said, why do you want to take up science? So Varun inquired, why I wanted to take up science. Okay, right, fine. So please here let us remember all the things that we have to do. And yes, so on this similar, right, so let's turn to the last page, please, page 164. 164. Pick up the question once we have the doorman said, may I help you, ma'am? Page 164, the next page only, there are a few more sentences. Let's discuss those also. Then you say, ma'am, we did not discuss. Okay. Yes, so where I found this tie. Pankaj said, where I asked me, asked where I found this tie. Yes, why I've been absent for so many days, right? If I were comfortable. She asked, you like this room, right? So she asked me if I like that room. Yes, so why I wanted to take up science. Fine, clear. Now next one, the doorman said, may I help you, ma'am? The doorman said, may I help you? So the doorman asked or inquired if he might help me. Change of pronoun. I, you. Right? Yes. If he might help me. Yeah. So next question here. Just put in your books here. Sagar said, will you take me with you? Sagar said, will you take me with you? So Sagar, yeah, wanted to know. Sagar asked, Sagar inquired if I would take him with or take me with him, right? Not, yeah, will you take me with you? So take him with me, right? He, of course, so he wanted to go with him. Right, so make, yes, just to go to this once again. So if I would take him with me, okay, him with me. Please do it correctly. Yes. So Riddhi said, are we going to Mumbai? Riddhi said, are we going to Mumbai? Yeah, so Riddhi inquired if we were going to Mumbai. Correct. Last one, please. Yes. The children said, may we go out to play? The children asked if they might go out to play. Right. Yes. Which one? Okay. Right. So here we'll stop here. And now a few things I want to tell you about. Yes. What am I going to tell you? That